People, Deluded, I'm back again. I'm here with a special guest. Big thank you for doing this. Sammy, how you doing, man? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Lockdown's, it's beautiful weather and there's nothing to do, so it's not exactly the right match, but I've got my health, my family's got theirs. I can't cry, man.
That's good. That's good. I'm good to hear.
What you been doing during lockdown?
Nothing really. Just keeping fit. Trying to keep myself busy. Just going to the field and that. Few balls, do some running and that. That's about it, really. Looking after my family as well. That's about it.
What sort of training you been doing? Because you mentioned you've been trying to keep fit. What sort of things have you been doing? Because there's not much you can do.
No, it's just jogging around the field for like 10 minutes, and then I might do this thing called 161, where you got to and it's like hard, it's proper hard. Or I might do my own circuit where I've got like cones and that, and like kick ball, and then I might work on my technique, or even if it's like I'm going in my back garden and like kicking it against the wall, like trying to practice like my first touch and that, my passing and receiving. Just trying to work on everything, especially my left foot as well, like my weak foot. Been trying to work on that as well. So yeah, heading and everything, every aspect really.
You sound quite busy, man. It seems like lockdown's not stopping you. It seems like you're doing everything, really.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I haven't made it pro yet, so you've got to keep working.
You've got to keep going. You can't rest on your laurels, man. Have you still been in contact with your teammates and the coaching staff at City and all of
that? I've been in contact with the staff at City. Not really the lads. Just I don't know. Just hadn't spoke to each other. But like the staff at City, they'll ring us up like every Monday or so, and that's just asking how we are and that really. That's about it.
So checking up on making sure you're all right, but making sure like psychologically you're all right and stuff like that.
Yeah, like asking if we've anything we felt challenging, if we haven't felt motivated and stuff like that, and like just asking if his family is all right, if we're healthy, if we've had any symptoms, and that's about it really.
It's sad that the lockdowns come, but how do you think the season was going, both for the team and yourself, before obviously the season was cancelled?
Yeah. Well, for the team, we did. I feel like we did really well. We only lost 2 games in the season. We was semi-finals of the Youth Cup. We won the Premier League tournament. We was top of the league in the Premier League North for on the 18s. But then halfway through the season, I got pushed up to the 23s. But then I couldn't play any games because of all this lockdown. So personally, at the start of the season, I did really well. Then I had a bad injury where I slid into the post and tore my kidney.
Talk us through that. Wow. I never knew that. Wow.
Yeah. So we was playing Southampton in the Premier League Cup, and one of their players got through, so I was sprinting back. Like I can't let him score this. So he's gone past it. He's gone around the keeper, and I've tried to slid and get the ball, and the ball's gone in, but I've gone straight into the post. And then didn't know what it was at the start, but yeah, it's been hospitalised to go to A&E.
Madness. How long was you out for with that?
About 10 weeks, something like that.
Dumb question, but was it painful?
Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, at the start, when I actually did it, I was vomiting and everything. But after that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm fine. I got back in. I was like, I'll take paracetamol. I was like, nah, I don't want paracetamol. I don't need it. But yeah, and then I got back, and then I went back out, not to play, to just like watch and that, not knowing what I'd done. And then I got back, and then she told me to take a urine sample, and it was just blood. It was just blood. Like my urine was just blood. It was horrible. So I had to go to A&E.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's completely threw me and through the course of this interview, man. Jesus Christ, bro. Like, what's going through your mind when this happens? Like, I'd be panicking. Like, oh my.
You know, the first thing that went through my mind is that I looked up and I asked someone, oh, did it go in? That's the first thing. I went, oh, did it go in? They went, yeah. I went, fuck.
Did you have to have surgery?
Nah, I was close to having surgery though, but I didn't need it. It just like it heals by itself, but you just got to do nothing for like 2 weeks.
Oh gosh, how hard was that? Like basically just having to sit out, man, while everybody's playing and training and whatever.
It was horrible, obviously, but I wasn't like I was just sat there and like standing and watching the games, watching training and that. And you just think, oh, I could just go out and that. But you know, it is what it is. And then because it's not like the first big injury I've had. I had I had 2 operations on my knees. So it's like it's not the first big operation I've had. Or operation, long time I've had out. So I knew how to cope with it, and so it was just yeah.
You might as well talk us
It
through
was
that
all
other
right.
injury. Sorry, man. What'd you say?
Oh yeah. No, go on.
I was saying you might as well talk us through the other injury because I mean kidney and now knees. Like, yeah, you might as well talk us through that injury.
So like not the season, maybe not last season, the season before. I tore my meniscus twice. One time I did it was weird. You know Jeremy Frimpong?
Yeah.
So I was training with him, and he hit the ball. It's hit the end of my foot, and it's just like made my leg floppy. Didn't know what happened. I was like, something's not right here. And then turned out I tore my kidney. And then the other one, I did it. I tore it during my rehab as well. So I was trying to do that one, so I had to go for another operation.
How?
I'd rather not say.
Yeah, you're a madman. You seem, one thing I like about you, you seem not like, obviously no one wants to be injured and hurt and things, but you don't seem fazed by it. You seem like you take the good and bad in your stride. Sorry. How do you keep yourself strong mentally? Because most people can start feeling sorry for themselves, and I always say, I said like the world keeps spinning, like it's gonna keep spinning. So how did you keep strong? And obviously you've bounced back from that, and you know you was pushing 23s before this happened. So obviously you've come a long way. How do you keep yourself mentally going when this madness has happened?
Right. The one thing I've always said is that even when you're on the path, your path's not always going to be smooth. There's always going to be bumps in the road, isn't it? But like I remember whilst I was doing this, a psychologist came up to me and went, "Oh, do you still know what you want to do, even though you're injured?" I was like, "Yeah, because the plan doesn't change. It's just a bump in the road." Do you know what I mean? Like, I still know what I want to do, even though I am injured. That doesn't change anything. So that's probably one thing that kept me like mentally straight. It's just like, even though I am injured, there's still stuff I can still get better at, even if it's like my first touch, my passing, my whatever, even like studying the game, like what he does, or just like that. Just
There's always a
studying the
silver
game.
lining.
Yeah, always keep your mind busy, like, because if you're constantly thinking about it, then it's just gonna piss you off even more. Do you know what I mean? Thinking, oh, I'm injured. So if you just keep your mind off it, then I don't know.
And I'm pretty sure. Go on.
No, I just take it how it is. It is what it is, isn't it? You can't change it. There's no point moping about it. Do you know what I mean?
Like I think I could answer this for you, but I'd like to hear you yourself. Obviously, I always say coming back, recovering physically is part of the job, but like we've been talking about, psychologically is still there. When you've come back onto this field, whether it's been your kidneys or your knees or or the meniscus, I believe you said, has it ever played on your mind like, oh, if I play the same way or if I do certain things, I'm going to get injured again? And was you a bit hesitant towards that?
No,
See,
never.
I knew you'd say that.
No, nothing really phases me, to be honest. Like, even if it's like going up to the chamber with the first team or I'm playing in a final, nothing really phases me. To me, it's just another game. It doesn't matter if your leg's been broken before. If the physio says it's fixed, innit? And you got to trust them as well as trusting your ability. But no, I ain't really like think, oh no, I'm not going to do that. I still do the same thing. And if it happens again, it happens again. I'm not going to change my game just because I'm scared of an injury or something, which I'm not. So
That's a good way of looking at it. Obviously, I wasn't planning to ask you this, but you mentioned first team. Now, obviously, a lot of academy boys from time to time are invited to training.
Yeah.
How many times have you been to do that? And what is it like training with the first team?
I've been like, I don't know, maybe about 9, 10, 11, 12 times or something like that. I don't know.
Regular.
Sometimes it's not just like, oh, it's me. Sometimes the whole group will go over if they want to practice the formation and the way they play out from the back against like whichever team they're playing against. Or sometimes they'll ask personally that they want you. If that makes sense. So personally, that they wanted me about 5 or 6 or something. And training with them is, I don't know. I like to. So when you go over, you don't really speak in it because like you just thought you think
it's superstars and
yeah. So my way of seeing it, if they should like they shouldn't come speak to us, we should earn the respect for them to come speak to us. And to earn their respect is to like train hard, basically. That's how I see it as. So like the first time I went to go train with them. I was playing against Sane because I'm a right back, and there was like De Bruyne on that side as well. But I like I said, I wasn't phased. I was just like, I want to show how good I am to Pep. That was just my mentality. And first time Sane got the ball, I thought, yeah, I'm gonna get this ball here. I went boom, I got it. But it was quite an hard tackle, but I got it. Same with De Bruyne, but De Bruyne's just come back from an injury. But I didn't really think about that. I was thinking, I'm just gonna get this ball here. So I went, got the ball, and then my coach went, "I'll just take it easy." but then Pep was saying, Pep said, "We're asking for my name because he knew who I was," and he was like, "Oh, I want him from my defensive set plays, whatever you call it, defensive sessions." So and then a couple of times after that, he kept picking me like every week to go train. But then I got injured again with my. I had some knee problems. I didn't need an operation, but something happened at that. Yeah, like a minor one. So, well, it's good. I just like I said, like when you go over there, I don't really speak. But even when, say, if I'm going to train, but I'm just watching on the sideline and watching them do it, then I'll just study and just watch them. I won't take my eyes off it. I'll watch them, thinking, what can I get better on? What do they do that I don't, that I can get better on? Because like people say, "Oh, going over there, it's just training," but you're not. If you want, like, for us to go over there, I'm not just going over there to train. I want to
make a difference.
Or like I'm coming for. It might sound stupid, but I'm coming for like their spot. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's the right way of looking at things, man.
Yeah.
To be a professional footballer at that level, that's what you need to look at, man. Definitely the right way of looking at things. What was it like getting a vote of confidence from Pep Guardiola, though? Like, he liked your tackle. I'm sure he's a nice guy to speak to. What did that make you feel like, man?
I don't know. As soon as I got back in, I was like, I just rang my dad. I was like, you never guess what? Just telling him about it, and he was just happy, and I was just happy. I was just like, I don't know. I never let it go to my head though. Just next day training, it was just training again.
Back to normal.
Yeah.
What player did you look at in training and think all of you are great, but it's like, wow, like I can remember vividly how you was playing and stuff. Like, was there any of them?
You know, you won't think this, but when I went over, the first person that caught my eye was Fabian Delph.
A lot of people say that, why?
Because the way he just trains, he's just all the time bang bang. He's just like he's on it, and that's what like caught my eye. Like he don't mess about. You know what I mean? And we're from the same area actually.
Oh, you're not local Manchester like that?
No, I'm like, no one actually knows this because it's not even on Google. I'm from Leeds.
Okay.
Like, I was actually in Leeds before.
He's at Leeds? Till what age?
Yeah. Till under 13s.
Okay. What made you leave and go City without getting into details? Was you released or it came and said?
No. At that time, I was playing up. I was like playing when I was at Leeds, I was playing a year up, 2 years up, and training with the under 18s, and I was 13 at the time.
Jeez.
And like it was good. Like they all liked me and that, but the way the position Leeds were in, like with like they had Celino at that time, and the club would just wasn't ran properly. And I was thinking, but then City was watching me for like 2-3 years or something, seeing how I developed and that, and then basically we heard that they wanted me. So it was like, at the first I didn't want to leave, but I don't know. I changed my mind. Just think, why not? If I want to better myself,
Why didn't you want to leave?
Oh, because I was loved at Leeds. I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I felt like I was betraying them.
All right, let me ask you this. Obviously, with all due respect to Leeds, like you see with a lot of players, you I don't want to say big fish in a small pond, but you know, you're one of the chosen sort of star players at City Youth Academy. You've gone to City where you still are, but it's like everybody's one of them now. So it's like it's not really. It's almost like everybody's normal. How does it feel going into that environment where, you know, being a quality young player or having talent is the minimum now? It doesn't mean anything now. What's it like being in that environment? Like, what's the difference is training? Because there must be a gulf. It must be really man.
Like, so when I went in, I was just like, I'm not here to mess about. I'm here to take your spot, and I want to play. That was my mentality. So I just went in, and the first 2 weeks, training was hard because when I was about to leave Leeds, I said I wasn't going back to training because they wouldn't let me leave, and it was like 7 months without training.
Really?
So when I went back to City, like the training was quite hard. But first 2 weeks, I was getting megged all the time. To be honest, I was getting megged. I was just like, I'm fed up with this. So I just ended up snapping people and that. I was like, I'm not letting people do that to me. But then, as I got in, I got more comfortable, and I started to flourish.
Obviously, did it take a while to get to grips tactically with City? Because it must have been another sort of level thing. Did it take you a while to get up to grips with that?
No, not really, because I've just played what I've seen. Like, obviously there's tactics and stuff like that, but like when I first came, I was playing centre back. So the tactics at centre back are not really like that complicated. So that was quite easy. And then same with right back. Right back's not really that complicated to get used to. So it wasn't that hard, but like as in like when you're on the ball, you just play it how it comes, don't you? So I didn't see it that. I didn't want to mangle my brain to think, I need to do this, this, and this, and this, and this. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather. What?
You just wanted to keep it simple.
Yeah, I just wanted to like play my game, not get my head mangled saying blah blah blah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Have you always been a defender?
Nah, when I was dead young, like proper young, I used to be a striker, but I was a hard striker. I was scoring like 135 goals a season. In like Sunday League though, like. But then when I was under eights, I got signed. But then under nines, I was doing rubbish, and Leeds actually wanted to release me. But then one coach went, "Oh no, we'll just put him defence," and then put me defence, and then I started playing well.
What's it like being in the academy though? Because I want to ask you this, because you mentioned you almost got released, and that's quite young, and you knew about that. Yeah. What's the pressures like when it comes to things like almost getting released, just about staying on? You know, you think you're doing well. What's it like being in that where you always have to prove yourself? There's always football's a funny old game of opinions, and you always have to deal with these. What's it like being in it?
I don't know, because I've been in it so long. Like there is a lot of pressure, but I don't know. Sometimes you just get used to it. You know, it's just like I don't know. It's just like obviously, if you play bad, if you say one game you play bad, you're thinking, oh shit, I'm not gonna get into the team now. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's like you have a pressure to play well, obviously, because especially at City as well, with a team that just wants to win everything. So there is like amount of pressure that comes with it, but I don't know. I like pressure don't really get to me, to be honest. I know that's just me, but some people are different, but I don't really like feel it.
How did you develop this mentality? Because obviously, from when I see as a fan watching you, and from what you've said, if you was to ask me to describe you, I could talk about how you play it right back until I'm blue in the face. But one thing that stands out is your resilience and your mentality and stuff like that. How do you develop this? You seem like people praise you. You know, you give respect, but it doesn't phase you. Negative comments, it doesn't phase you. You're focused
Yeah.
on one goal. How do you develop that sort of mindset and that sort of hunger? I guess.
Well, growing up, like we didn't really have any money and that, so like, and like it was kind of hard growing up. So I don't know, living in the area that I do, it's just like I don't know, nothing really phases me, to be honest. I don't know, to be honest.
No, I know what you
I don't
mean,
know.
man.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
growing up in London, I definitely know what you mean with the whole area
yeah,
thing and the tenacity, because you can see at what life could be like if you don't take
yeah,
full advantage of this opportunity and things,
yeah.
stuff like
So
that.
I just thought, like, for me going into a match or like to me going to the train, it's like you're just playing. It's just another game, innit?
Mm,
Like people like say, "Oh, it's a final, this, or blah blah blah," but it's not. It's just another game of football.
mm,
It just has a title that says final. Do you know
mm.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I just, but I think people just overcomplicate it in their own minds. But me, I just think, oh, it's just another game.
Mm. That's a fantastic way of looking at it. And let me ask you this. Obviously, the thing you said about area strikes with me in it, because I'm from London. It's not
Yeah,
outside now. It's not going to look too nice for me. Did you ever, and I used to struggle, especially when I used to play for Sunday league teams that I was in a slightly more posh area where, this wasn't a thing. Did you ever struggle when people didn't have the sort of mindset you have, or that you thought they might not be as serious, or like football's just a game? For you, it's a chance to better your life. For them, it's just, it's just a game.
yeah,
You've got rich mums and dads. I struggled with accepting that. Is that something you had, or what was your feelings with?
yeah. If like, say, if like even like, you know, yourself like not. It's like that mindset's installed into me.
Mm,
Like if even now, if someone's like messing about, I'll be like, oh, like it'll just do my head in because you've got. I don't. Yeah, it did. Even when I went, because I moved to like a public school in Leeds, and then when I moved to Manchester, I moved to a private school, and like because it's because I wasn't used to them people. I used to like hate like I'm gonna say posh people, but I used to hate posh people. Like
mm,
if like you'd never see someone walking down the street talking like you like Queen of England. Do you know what I mean?
mm, mm,
You won't think that, but yeah, when I used to play, even when I used to play on the Sunday League, or even when I was for Leeds, and like it really annoyed me because you got a chance to better yourself. This is why I said this. Like I'd hate to come from. I'd rather come from the background I came up from because then you've got a motivation to go where they are. Do you know
mm.
what I mean? Like if you haven't had it, you, you want it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're dying for it, sort
Like,
of thing.
yeah. So I like if like even when you watch me play, if you've ever watched me play,
Of course, I've
I
watched
always
it.
try to
Bloody
improve.
hell, mate. Go on, go on,
I
go on.
thought, I thought like I'm so passionate about the game, and people say, "Oh, you shout a lot," but that's because I want to win. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So that's that's just how it is.
What's it like? Or let me ask you this. Obviously, my geography is poor in it, but I know Leeds and Manchester, they're two different towns, but they're
Yeah.
not that far away from each other, but they're
Nah.
different towns in that. What's it like being a lad from you? You've come from humble beginnings in Leeds, you've gone to Manchester, I assume you're in digs and things like that. What's
Yeah.
it like because obviously you're not by yourself, but you're by yourself in that, you ain't got your mum, dad, brothers, friends. What's
Yeah.
that like? Like just on the pitch is one thing, but also off the field. What's it like moving house at a young age and stuff like that, essentially?
Uh, I don't know. I didn't. I don't know. I don't really see it as like as a bad thing. Like I had the chance to get out of the area I'm from,
Mm.
so for me it was like, oh, I don't have to. Like I still had like a load of mates here, and I still like, I hardly speak to any of them now. I speak to like one or two, but back then I used to have loads. So I used to still keep on contact with them, but I'd always come back on weekends. You see,
Yeah.
so it was like it wasn't that bad, to be honest. So,
Mm.
but I don't like. I don't know. I didn't find it hard. It is what it is. I had to do it to further my career and stuff. So I
But
didn't see it as that bad.
mm. Mm. Obviously, under 16 season. Now, you might have, because you've gone from Leeds to Man City, scholarship might not have been something you particularly had to worry about within reason. What is it like in that season? Because there must have been, you know, people you've built up good relations with over the years,
Yeah.
been at the club longer than you, and they've been released. Not everyone can find clubs. What's that side of football like? I don't think most people see that. They just see the good.
What do you mean, like other
Like,
players?
Yeah, like seeing play. See, I'm pretty sure you've got friends that have been released from all clubs over England. Players that are probably now training in parks, trying to find, you know, a club because they're free agents. What's that side of football like? People told they're not getting scholars and pros and
Yeah.
the rest of it. What's all that side of football like from your experience?
I don't know. The best way to ask someone is to ask someone who's been in that. But I'd imagine it's not nice, obviously. But it, like, maybe it just might, like, you see some players you get released, but then go to another club and do really well. So it's just that club the club that they got released from might not be the best suit for them.
Yeah.
And the other one, or it could like make them motivate them to better to think, yeah, I'm gonna teach you that you shouldn't have released me. So it could happen in either way. It's just that the harsh reality is that if they don't think you're good enough, they don't think you're good enough in it. But if I don't know, to be honest.
You've answered that perfectly, bro. I think
I don't really have a
yeah, you answered that fine, man. Really.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think if they think you're not good enough, it's not the end of the world, innit? If you get released, it's not the end of the world. But I've never been in that situation, never felt that. So I don't really know. You'd have to ask someone like who's been in that situation, if that makes sense.
No, that makes fully sense. You know, obviously you mentioned you're a right back. To someone that's I've watched you play, again, that's why I DM'd you. But to someone who's never seen you or heard of your name, how would you describe your style of play or how you are as a player?
I'm passionate.
Tenacious.
I don't know. Yeah, the thing is, I don't know what tenacious means. You know,
like you just bite in a tackle. He's snappy, man. I like that about you.
Oh yeah.
You don't shy away from that.
I'm aggressive, passionate. I've got a good right foot. I can drive with the ball. I'm good at passing. I'm kind of like an all-round player. I just can't do bare skills and that. That's about
it. What would be a weakness of yours, or an area that you'd like to improve in general?
Feel like I can improve on every area, but if I was going to say one, probably I'd like to work on my left foot a bit more. Probably about that, and probably I don't know, like with skills and that I can do skills, but I don't know. I rarely do them in a game unless I've got to in it. That's about it. But so I don't know. People think like, oh, to have a load of skill, that's what people have got to have a load of, like, do a load of step overs and that. But I don't think it depends on how you are. That's not your best quality. Obviously, get better at it, but it's not the end of the world if you can't do 100 step overs and flip flaps and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What would you say? What sort of players do you look at to like model your game on or take bits from, or who have you looked at more so when you was younger? If you don't do that now,
Sergio Ramos.
Shout.
I just loved. I like same with me. Like I do anything to win a game, even if I'm not gonna say that actually. Like I just do anything, even if like any means cost. Apart from I just want to win. I'd do anything for the team. I just like that's why you see me get proper wound up. You know, if something don't go right or something, it's just like, oh, it just proper winds me up. Just is what it is. But yeah, Ramos definitely. I watch him probably about every day.
That's a shout. That's a shout.
Yeah.
Anyone else, or is he just the one?
I mainly watch him. Do you know who I really like? You know, he's not a footballer, but I like Michael Jordan.
First guy that I've done this interview with, when I've asked that question to kind of flip it on his head, I probably know why, but why? I know you've watched his documentary probably now.
Yeah, watched his documentary, but like just the way he did everything to win. like everything was just about winning, even if it was like if did you watch the documentary?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he's really hard on his teammates, and you see him get upset because people thought he wasn't a nice guy, but it wasn't. It was just because he had a passion to win, and he'd do anything to win. So that's why I probably look up to him a lot as well. Just the way he wanted to win and stuff.
That makes sense. Obviously, playing as a right back and playing for City, it must be enjoyable because of the way you lot play. You get to go forward.
Yeah.
What's been the best and worst games that you've played in personally?
The best game against Bradford City. First team in pardon?
Why would that be?
It was the first time we played. It was in that leasing.com trophy. Do you know when the 23s play first teams from like League Two? Yeah, so because it was like you had like it was like a sample of like, do you know when you go to food shops and stuff and they have like samples of food?
Yeah.
It was like the sample before the actual real thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like a taste of professional football, even if it was League Two. It was like that taste, and it was just like that was probably the best game I've ever played in.
What did you learn from that experience playing against like obviously grown men? Like I can guess it, but yeah.
Like just having to just concentrate all the time. Even though I do concentrate, but you even have to concentrate even more. Like staying vocal, making sure everyone's in the right place, making sure everyone's doing their job properly. I don't know, to be honest. Probably just have to really concentrate because the gift's already there, the ability that you've got is already there. You just need to step it up a level.
What was it like physically?
Physically, I thought it was all right, to be honest. Like obviously, it's like they're a lot stronger, a lot quicker, and it's like the tempo is a lot faster. That was even in League Two as well. Yeah. So God knows what it's like in the Premier League and that. But the tempo is a lot quicker. They're like, and especially League Two, they have like a lot of they do a lot of long balls.
Yeah.
So, but I'm quite good at heading, so I didn't really. Yeah. So it's like just basically just the physicalness, like as like the English league, like League Two, League One, and that. Well known for like being physical and stuff, like long balls, whatever, tackles and that. So it's probably a lot different to the Premier League on how they play. But I feel like you've got to play in like a game like that and play week in, week out. I feel like there's some players that won't be able to play in that league.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it's like that's nothing bad on them. Like if you ask like Jadon Sancho, as good as he is, he probably could play League Two, but the way the tackle and the way the physical, it wouldn't suit him. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So everyone has different things, but like that would like suit me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because that's one thing I like about you. You're my sort of player. You like a battle. You don't get scared and things like that. It does annoy me seeing players get scared. Let me ask you this as well. Obviously, we mentioned that you're playing against men, and obviously they're going to be bigger than your teammates and things. Did you have to change the way you play? Because things you might try with your own age mates might work, and trying it with them, it won't work. So did you have to change the way you played it?
I feel like you've got to be more cautious of when, like say if you're playing at my age and say if you go for a tackle, but they're not physically developed properly. Yeah. Like you could catch up to it. Like I'm not the fastest of players. I'm quite fast, but I'm not like Jeremy Frimpong. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like you've got to be more cautious. Like when shall I go into this? Show him down here, or do you know what I mean? Like you've got to like be careful and when, because you could lunge in, he could pass you, but then you're not catching him up. Do you know what I mean? So you've just got to pray that you don't go in and score. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I'd say that's probably it.
Mm. Let me ask you about playing right back as well, because I was a right back as well. That's why I'm happy to finally have another right back. Well, the thing that used to annoy me the most was getting triangled. Like, it really, really annoyed me. What annoys you the most about playing right back?
When the winger doesn't track back.
Thank you.
When the
Oh,
winger
man.
doesn't track back, that does my head in. Because then you're like a 2v1, so you've either got to like either not do anything, just go with it, but then they're coming back onto your goal. But sometimes what I do, I just foul him me. So then, if they just foul him, then they can't score. Score off the set piece and score off the set piece. But yeah, that's probably the worst thing when the winger doesn't track back. But mostly at City, the wingers track back sometimes.
Yeah, they got no choice, or they'll be out the team with you lot, man. Yeah, they have no choice. Obviously, we've spoken about City and Leeds and stuff, but with all due respect to City, I know I'm happy to see you playing for City. I know you're prideful for playing for City, but England is a country, it's the national pride, it's national service. What's it like getting called up for England, playing for England? Talk us through that, man.
Yeah, it was just a dream come true when because I got the first thing in under 15s when they started doing it on. So I was like, I was just waiting. I knew when it was going to come up, but I was like ringing my dad saying, "No, I forgot an email yet. I forgot an email. They're going to pick me." So I was like that. But then one time around, we went, "Oh, you got an email. You're going to play for them." So I was like, "Oh." It's just, I don't know. It was just all a bit mad.
What's the camp like?
Pardon?
What's the camp like?
It's good. It's a bit more like like it's a bit more free, if that makes sense. Like at your club, it might be a bit more structured and like on this and this and that. But I feel like when you play for England in the camp and stuff, you have more like freedom, if that makes sense.
In terms of playing, your role at right back in the England team and in City, is there any differences in how you have to play for England?
No, not really. They have different patterns of plays and stuff like that, which is obvious. But in case like going up and down the pitch, it's basically the same.
What's it like playing against all them different countries, man? Like, it must be a different learning experience every game.
Yeah, it is good. But I remember when we played, it was in the Euros and we played against Holland, and they were just such a good team. Like tactically, they were just really good, and they played better on us on the day. But like I remember, I was playing right back, and not really for England the wingers do track back, but they want them to sometimes save their energy, so it's for their attacking moment. Yeah. Sometimes they don't. It was like I remember I was playing right back, and it was like something I've never seen before, and it was like I was here, a player was next to me, a player was like in the left back position, but it wasn't the left back, it was like the centre mid playing as a left back and then the left wing, and then the left back was in the middle, and then Brian Brobby was a striker who'd come over to this side as well. So it was like a square against one.
Wow.
So it was proper weird. Like
wow.
I know it was tactically it was like
I'd have been like, what
it was so, you know, and all them players play for Ajax as well, and that's like one of the best academies in the world, isn't it? So
it's just gonna be pure triangles upon triangles upon triangles. What was the Euros like though? What was the Euros like, man? Being in a tournament, having to play every couple of days, training, all of that. What was that like, man?
The Euros were so good. Like I enjoyed every minute of it, especially being on TV and that as well. So I enjoyed it. Although we didn't go as far as we wanted. I remember the day we got knocked out, and I was just in my room and did not speak to anyone. I was just like, I'm not speaking to anyone, even my girlfriend. My girlfriend rang me. I was like, I don't want to speak to you. I was like, I just don't want this. But yeah, it was just. But the Euros was like such a good thing to play. I wish we'd have got further, but everything happens for a reason.
What was the best player from the Euros for you?
Best player.
Or best team, if the players are big.
Oh, the best player was there was this French midfielder.
Deal.
I don't know his name. He was tall. He played like Pogba.
Okay. I think I don't know his name, but I think I know who you're speaking about. Curly hair.
Nah, I think I can't remember, but he was a captain.
Mm.
But he was hard. He was sick. Him.
What made him so good? Like,
Don't know, like even he was so like Pogba. He was so tall and gangly, and like his leg, but you couldn't get the ball off him. It was like you didn't know what he was gonna do. It was like I don't know. I don't know. He played just like Pogba, like the way like he's built and everything, the way his feet was. He was just
I think I know his name begins with an A, but I can't remember him, so I'm not gonna
yeah.
work with that. Obviously, my final question, because you dropped a wealth of knowledge for us. I'd love to ask you this, especially because of the mindset you have. Like, obviously, for aspiring professionals or players that want young people that want to be professional footballers, what do you think is the most important trait to have? Like, is it something mental, physical? What would it be for you personally?
I think for me, I think just don't let anything phase you. But like, don't let anything phase you. Don't just because one person says, "Oh, you can't do that," prove them wrong. That was the thing for me. Like, I always wanted to prove people wrong. To say like, "Oh, you can't do that," "Oh, you're not good." Like when I was at Leeds, I got told I wasn't good enough to play academy football. But now I'm at City and playing. Yeah. So I just love proving people wrong. Like, see if someone was talking shit to me in a game, I'd just be like, you did the wrong thing there. And then I'd just prove it throughout the whole game. And every time I'd do something well, I'd look at him, like say, yeah, don't talk shit to me.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be like.
You're mad.
Yeah. Like when we played Stoke in the final, I remember we scored one game and they was booing us. I was like, I went like that to him. I was like that, and they booed me throughout the whole game. And then we went on and won like 5-0 or something. And every time we scored a goal, I was running back and I was just smiling at all of them.
Yeah, you love it, man.
Yeah.
You're a rattler, man. My sort of guy, man. Wow. Oh, man. It's been terrific speaking with you, Sammy, man. And obviously, we wish you all the best in your career. And on behalf of everybody listening to this, the same thing. And yeah, thank you for offering your time, man. And when football gets back going, you know, we'll be supporting you. And yeah, thanks for doing it.
It's fine. Do you want me to shout you out or anything? Or
you can do whatever you want, my guy, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man. Take care of yourself, my dude, man.
All right. You too.
Peace.